Trojan, and welcome back to Gaming Hexar, which is now episode 10 of our survival let's play. We're just on the back end of the last update, which I believe has introduced rocks onto the surface, which are mineable for ores. So I was hoping to have a little look around today and see if we could find anything with regard to that. I don't think we're going to find anything on the ice, so I might have to take out our rover and just have a little scope around and see what's going on. I've got my little landing pad up here, which just it's boredom really, but that was it. Thought I wanted somewhere to land this when I wanted to interchange. Of course, what I'm going to need to do, which makes more sense, is have a landing pad for like some kind of fighter that I'm going to have, which is scout slash fighter, and then have maybe another connector, so a more an area that's more specific for docking these two, so this guy and that drone down there, so I don't have to be interchanging them all the time. I'm hoping night will pass soon. We can get out in the rover and see if we can find one of these rock patches, just for the purpose of checking what the update has done, and if it is compatible actually with this save, I don't know, but we'll see soon enough. I'm going to close this just so the sensor isn't confused by the small ship approaching it. What am I at? I am not in this position by the looks of it. Let's quickly look. Right, so unlock.
Ship fuel critical.
And turn you back onto thing. There we go. Stop to it. 2. Turn it off. There we go. The lights on. Now they are. Right, and we're going to have a little look-see what is available. Hopefully there is some rock outcrops that we can look at and see if there's any difference in what ores there are and stuff like that. Bit of a light bug there on top of the solar panels, but I could probably fix that if I changed the radius and the intensity of them bulbs, but I'm not bothered about them for now. Right guys, so I'm just going to head off out in this direction. We know we have safe route here this way, provided I can keep the buggy from flipping, and I'll be back in a moment and hopefully we've found something. Approaching our nickel deposit, which is 400 metres in front of us, and I haven't seen any rock outcrops yet, but that said, what is... these look like there might be... ooh, very bright. These look like, in front of me, 1, 2, 3, 4. These look like they might be them. So I'm hoping we get close to it, we'll see if there's ore in it. Gold! And what were we looking for when we found this nickel? We were looking for gold. That is just spectacular. And it looks like there might be... doesn't seem like there's any particular reason why this has appeared here, so it'd be hard to find patterns into like for where to look. There might be some up there, one there, one there, one there, but I'm going to quickly do this because I'm chuffed that I found gold, to be completely honest, because it is, if you look here, it's one of the things that we do not have. Straight away, we're going to mark that down. Gold. And just so I know this is on the surface, I'm just going to say it's a gold outcrop, because it's not buried, so I know that it's on the surface. I could just put 0 meters, but 0 meters. Yeah, in fact, yeah, I'll do 0 meters because it's just easier, we'll say. Right, let's check this guy out. We've got our special little rocky thing here. Do a big hole first and see there, it's right in there, so don't really need the miner or anything for this, the drone. We can just do this by hand. Okay. Not entirely sure what happened there, but the gold's getting away. For some reason keeps putting the T for some reason is when I pick something up, it's putting away the thing. It's putting away the drill by itself. I'm not sure if that's a bug or... Oh, the sun's coming up. Just turning off my lamps. That's going to be a bit of a pain because I usually keep my finger on the collect button when I'm mining. See, so I'm going to have to just drill as much as I can and then pick it up separately. Hopefully none of these rocks that are getting trapped beneath my feet will... Right, are they going to keep rolling away? Yes, they probably are. You can see it keeps putting the drill away. That's going to become fairly annoying. I'm hoping that they remedy that. It's like a little mini game. Come here. Here we go. What I think I will do is make a little catchment area here. That should stop anything rolling away. And what is going on? There we go. Just so I can get up there. There we go. Get back into it. There we go. I won't bore you too much with the whole mining business, but I'm just glad we found an outcrop. I might check one other outcrop as well, just to see what. But this is quite a rare resource to be finding on the surface, so I'm surprised they included gold as a as one of the ores that appear. It's probably quite random, the ores that will appear in these outcrops, but that's even better because it means otherwise rarer materials will now be more accessible. And I do apologise for that clipping there. I'm going to come back when I've mined this out a bit further and we'll be heading on to the next outcrop if we can find. One thing I've noticed recently is that the game's been crashing a lot more than usual. Well, there used to be a point where it never used to crash from it all, and now it crashes nearly every time I play. So what I've had to do is turn the auto save feature on just to avoid any unpleasant mishaps where I might be mining. And obviously get this far and then for the game to crash would be a bit of a nightmare. So you will see that you'll see the message appear on screen now and again, and I apologise for that the game is saving. You'll see that we've mined everything out that's on the surface, and we have close to 30,000 gold at present. Let me stop crouching. I'm going to take the stone as well. You can see there is still gold below the surface, so I'll leave the GPS marker here. What was happening is when I was mining, like if this grass area here where there's loads of gold still beneath it, if I was mining those two materials at the same time, which can happen, it was crashing the game, so I had to try and avoid mining it basically. And you can see from mining it, this whole area here was gold, more or less. There's still some above us and that, and I leave it because it will come in handy later and I have loads. We're going to head off into that direction over there and check out some of those other ones. You can see we have loads. Right, that's the connector 4. I just want to move it into the container. There we go. There we go. So we're going to head off. Actually, before I do, let's just clean up this area a little bit because I don't like to leave a mess. If you know me at all, there was a little bit over here. I'm sure there was. Where was it? Here, there he is. See, trying to get away. Right, and we'll leave the rest for now. We can always come back should we need to. Get that little one there. There we go. And I was trying to avoid getting too much stone there because we will get plenty of stone. But I'm going to check out those ones over there because they look slightly different to this one. So car's going to be a bit heavier now. There's another one over there. Yeah, there's loads actually. So that makes it that bit easier. And force you to go out and look around a bit as well. Let's see what's in this one. Iron. Break on. I will mark it anyway, just so we know what's here. And we'll know, of course, by the 0 meters that that's going to be an outcrop. So. There's tons. I saw one over here that I wanted to check out. That one there. It's a bit flatter than the other ones. Silicon. We do have silicon close to the base, I believe, underground, but I'm going to mark this one anyway. And basically that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around marking these ones up, and I'm not going to bore you with it, so I'll be back in a moment when I'm on my way to the base. Because the game has been a bit unstable, I was just, particularly when mining, I found several more outcrops, magnesium, more silicon, more iron. So it seems to be, I haven't found any particular pattern in the types of ore yet, until I maybe discover a few more. I'm heading back to the base now. It's unfortunate that the game is being a bit glitchy when it comes to mining now, because it is a big part of the game, but I'm going to head back to our base now, provided I'm heading in the right direction. I know it gets very hilly over there, so I'm going to try and stick to the flat terrain. And in my attempts to be getting around quickly, I've been flipping this car a bit. You can see it's quite easy when you're going downhill to get a bit out of control. Make sure I'm heading in the right direction. It is over there. I'm going to head that way. So I think it's probably advisable that I maybe put some sort of anti-flipping mechanism, or not anti-flipping mechanism, but a self-righting mechanism on the back of this. I think the only place I really have available to do it is where those batteries are. That's probably the best place for it. Just a rotor, maybe some blast door blocks, to help me right myself when I do flip, and then probably test it as well. We're nearly back. I'm going to dock this guy up. Whoops. Daisy, there we go, little dance. Oh, and the tree's gonna speak that tree. There we go. Starting to wonder now whether building my base out in the open like that was advisable. One thing I did notice when I was landing my lander in the very first episode there was that up in space there was actually some of the outposts, and I thought it would be really cool if like those drones actually searched planets as well, but I know at the moment with the constraints with regards to autopilot working around planet bodies, as I've tried a few experiments with autopilot, and around the planets and inside gravity wells and stuff like that, and it's not very good. So I understand why they can't come from space into the atmosphere, being the pirate drones and what have you. It would be nice to have a bit of an extra challenge. Ooh, let's get a bit more of a run up. There we go. I'm heading the wrong way. There we go. Straight up. That wasn't very straight. Apologies while I attempt this 60-point turn. There we go. That should be it. Hooked up. Right, that's not going to suck out until I lock into place. Oh, and you know why? It's because my connector is still switched off, so I could pull away in the first place. There we go. That's a good indication that we're stuck onto it, and we still need to lock it. So P. Let me just do one thing. Because P works for the handbrake as well, I'm going to turn the handbrake off, so when I press P, the handbrake goes on, and it connects to the thing at the same time. There we go. I'll get used to that. I'm going to let that empty out, which should be practically done already. It's quite quick. You can see it's 34.5 thousand kilograms of gold that we've come back with. It's been working on a nickel for a while, so I'm gonna throw the gold in front because I know we have no gold. That should be registering over here now. What do I have superconductors from? I wonder what I took apart that had a superconductor in it. I can't remember now. But the gold should be going up now. Where are you? 5.9, 7.31. Very good. I'm going to update the thing while I'm here, the code, just in case there's been any changes in the meantime. So I'm going to go to Browse Workshop. Browse Workshop. Yep, I'm there. Inventory. Okay. Okay, no, I didn't want to go into the workshop. Right. Just okay. Very good. Check code. Successful. Remember and exit. Now, seams are buggy. We should be able to do it in here. I'm sure we have the space. I'm just gonna. Seems it's empty now. I should really put it on charge while I was waiting, but I didn't. I'm gonna undock from there, pull forward, put the brakes on. Whoa! And it shouldn't take long to get some kind of a mechanism up and running. I'm gonna put it next to this actually because this might help me build platform something up. Can charge while I'm waiting when the sun comes up.
Ship
anyway.
fuel critical.
Yes, we understand. I need to move that drone out of the way. Would have helped if I had a button on the outside maybe to gain access from this side when I'm on foot. But I guess it's kind of handy to have an entrance solely for vehicles and then again solely for personnel. Control the traffic as it were. Right, so I'm going to get the bits I need to make this, and I'll be right back when I'm putting it together. And I've just built a little ramp up to here to get onto the back of here, and I think the general idea is going to be that we'll have a rotor here, a bar going across, possibly, and I might if I could now I would have. Oh, I can. I might put the rotor back here even, because these solar panels actually do seem to be quite sturdy. They've taken the beating and have a longer thing going across, and then over here some kind of landing gear set up to act as a lock for when it's not in use. So what we'll do in that case is I'll put a block here like that. Let me just, there we go, just so everything's in keeping, and then a black rotor, I think. Let me see if I already have one set up. Let's put it next to the thing here. So rotor, we want that there. That'll do for now. There, and so it will go across from here. I'm just going to use normal light blocks for now. Should be sufficient. Also, what I want to do first is, let me get this. If you're dealing with rotors, I've found it's handy to, I need a small steel tube, it's handy to get the rotor on first, and so it has power going to it, and then bring up the braking torque, because as soon as you start building onto that rotor, if you haven't brought the braking torque up, then what's going to happen is, let me take them steel plates as well, and that, why not. What's going to happen is you're going to end up building onto it, and the thing you build onto it is going to cause it to fall out of the position that you build it into, and obviously you take things into consideration as you're building, but if things start moving around while you're building, that can cause some problems. So we're just going to go into here, we're going to find the rotor in the control part, and I've obviously got to go into the cockpit. It's charging, okay, it's overloading, so maybe I might put the power back on for now. There we go, rotor. And we want to bring the braking torque up. So when it's, this is only when it's switched off. You can see it says braking strength for rotor, how fast it will stop, applied when the rotor is turned off. So when the rotor's off, if you want it to move freely, if you're building something that requires a motor to move of its own free will and not be powered in any sort of way, then you'd bring the braking torque down and you'd have it switched off, and then you have a free moving sort of pivot to work things on, for those who didn't know that. So now did I just put it back down again in explaining it? And I don't think I did, I think I left it up. So what I'm going to do first is I want to bring, right, this doesn't have to be so bulky looking, so what I might do is actually this, and go 1, 2, 3, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 9 up, so 1, 2, 3, this is going to be interesting. I need to get above it. Press the wrong one. This is very awkward. I could make this easier for myself. There we go. Can I reach you? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know it looks a bit obtuse at the moment, but what we're going to do here now is I want to come up back far enough. Which line are we on? Here, this one here. So we need 2 for the landing gear, so 1, 2. This is where it's going to be, so I need to come out 2. Yep, here and here, and the landing gear. Now we want to go on top of that, so we want that there, like that, you see. Is it going to be sticking out much? A little bit to the sides. Could we have it this way? Will that be getting in the way of anything? We'll do it that way. Why not? And what we're going to do is, rotors can be confusing. So now you see the rotor's pointing towards me. Don't ignore these degree signs. These are degrees on the thing. At the moment, no matter what direction you put things in, this is at 0 degrees. So I know that this way is going to be plus 90, and I know this way it's going to be minus 90 to there. I wanted to get it to the plus 90, so I'm going to move it to a positive, so it moves in that direction, hopefully very slowly because I don't want to hurt anything. But just in case, I'm going to put the upper limit. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put the upper limit at plus 90. Just so I don't end up smashing it off the actual chassis of the car. So upper limit. For now, the lower limit can be minus 90 if you wanted to, because there's nothing in that direction. And we want it to move quite far as well, because we want it to flip us over completely. I'm hoping this works now. Upper limit will be 90. Now we're going to move it very slowly in the positive direction, just to get it moving towards that positive 90 position. So we'll say 80, 0.80, confirm. Right, it should be moving, and it is. Wait for it to get into position, and we'll see how far we need to get it to go across. Right, so 1, 2, that should be fine. So we had a bit of damage there to one of the batteries. Right, so bringing that down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the braking torque off and see which position it rests in, and that's what going to be my upper limit, my new upper limit. So you'll see it's at 87 degrees right now, so it's not actually at the full 90 for some reason. We'll take the braking torque down completely and turn it off. Right, it says it's at 80, 83. I don't believe that entirely. Something's preventing it from reaching that. So that's 7 degrees in the difference. So let me bring it up 6 degrees. I've noticed this before with rotors, that there's normally a difference in the, and now it's up to 87. Let me bring this up to, oh no, that was fine. Leave you on lower 90-ish. And the upper limit, let's bring you up a little bit. I shouldn't have really done this by hand, but let's reverse. Reverse it again and see what position it rests in. 87. Something is stopping it. So I'll have to raise that landing gear by the looks of it. Let's just try this one more time. Let's bring it up to... I keep getting to the wrong one. Don't know why I'm doing that for. Upper limit. No, I'm going to have to raise that. So let me get it to there. Turn it off. We're going to raise that landing gear. Looks like I wasn't patient enough. Ah, I see why. Back up. See, it was falling back. Gravity was doing its job and pulling it back to a level position or as far down as it could bring it. This is turning out to be a bit more tedious than I had initially hoped, but alright, let's do you up there. Should be able to reach you from there. And then we just put the last couple of things in place. So we'll go to the rotor, reverse you into position. Our landing gear here, we're going to name that just quickly to flip lock. And I know I've made a mistake there, haven't I? This is still off. G. We're going to have our landing gear here to lock, so switch lock. It's ready to lock, you can see. And we're going to get our rotor as well. And we're going to say reverse. And the other one we want is we want to be able to switch it on and off. So right now we should be able to lock. And we have, and switch off our rotor. So if we go and have a look, that's locked in place. The rotor switched off, so it's not going to be dragging us around. I know it looks a bit skewed and off thing, but that's okay. It could be worse. I'll try and think of some idea to get the symmetry going. What I might have to do sometime in the future is maybe raise this up one here and have some kind of mirror image of this sort of strut here coming out here, make some feature out of it, I don't know, but I'm going to try and flip this guy and we're going to then see if we can flip it back. So a few donuts later, and it actually flipped fairly easily, which is a bit concerning, but we're going to give this a go anyway. Quickly before I go, we're going to go around the back of this thing. Try and get rid of that. You can see the idea being is that this will keep going around to this position, which should put the wheels at some point will try and topple back into the ground again. So it actually doesn't need to go that far. In fact, I'm going to try and keep my eye on the angle at which it does topple. So I can fine tune the rotor, but it should be fine because I don't think it goes far enough for it to cause any damage to itself, so we're going to give it a go. So if we look, what do we say? We want to turn the rotor on, and that was the wrong button. That was the handbrake. Put the handbrake on though, might be a good idea. So 6 to turn the rotor on, unlock the thing, and we're going to get a better view of this. Oh, there we go. I had a view of it there. Well, looks like we're going to be looking at it upside down. So it's unlocked, and we're going to hit the rotor. I should have really done this a long time ago, to be honest. Let's look from the inside. There we go. And that, when it gets to this point, should now fall into place. Go on. Go on. I guess I could speed up the rotor there a bit. Yay! Perfect. And we'll just reverse that rotor again. So I will bring up the speed of that rotor, but you can see the general idea. Now we don't have to worry about flipping over every 5 minutes. Listen guys, that took longer than I expected, so I'm going to have to leave you there on that note. Thanks for watching as usual, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.